Live happy and healthy, my brother. Live happy and healthy, my sister.
Good day and welcome to this edition of Healthier, Older and Happier. We're going to be talking about investments today. I'm sure you know that I'm not an investment expert. We will be talking about investing in long life, health and happiness, not in economic investments. If you type in a question about the meaning of investment in any search engine online, most of the answers you will get will be talking about putting money into profitable ventures. You will also get advice about the most profitable investments that you should be making in times such as this, regarding stocks, bonds, mutual funds, gold, cryptocurrency, real estate, etc., etc. I checked for the meaning of the root word for invest, and what I found was that it has its origins in Latin, and the root word in Latin for invest means to clothe oneself, to dress up in clothes, to be covered, to have a covering. So you may ask, why then do the interpretations of invest focus on money and making profits? The reason is because money is a covering, money is a protection. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 12 says that the protection of wisdom is like the protection of money. Majority of people all over the world direct most of their time, energies and other resources into making money and building wealth. In the face of all that craze for making money, having riches, building wealth, there is an even more vital investment that we must make, but which unfortunately many of us are either not aware of or we are ignoring. I hope that the stories you will hear today will help you to consider expanding your investment portfolios and priorities to include this very important investment venture, which is investing in relationships. There is a very important study called the Harvard Study of Adult Development, which began in 1938. It's ongoing. Initially, 724 boys were recruited. These boys were from diverse backgrounds. One background represented troubled homes in Boston, and the other background were undergraduates from the Harvard University. After several decades, the key finding from this 9-decade-old study, which is running in its second generation, is that good, warm connections with people is the number one requirement for living long and for being healthy and happy. According to one of the leads in this study, Dr. Robert Waldinger, taking care of your own body is important, but tending your relationships with human beings is actually the greatest way to take care of yourself. The Harvard study on adult development is the longest study till date, and it shows that close relationships predict health, long life and happiness more than genes, more than intelligence, money, fame, or social class. It's great to work to achieve healthy weight, normal blood pressure, normal blood sugar, cholesterol. It's great to work at your numbers and ensure that you get adequate sleep every day. We have emphasized this in most of our previous episodes. But what the evidence shows is that these are not the key predictors of healthy living and happiness. The key predictor, the number one predictor, is good relationships. The almost 100-year-old Harvard study on adult development, survival, and happiness shows that people who are the most satisfied in their relationships at the age of 50 years are those who are most likely to be healthy and happy when they are 80. Let's pause to think about this, and I'll ask a question. Are there people in your own life that you feel deeply connected with? Are there people that really give you joy? Are you satisfied with your relationships? If your answer is yes, I sincerely congratulate you and I plead with you, based on the evidence that is before us, to nurture those relationships. Why? Because more than anything else, those warm, deep connections will predict how long you will live and how happy you will be. If, on the other hand, you are one of those who do not have such relationships, don't despair. No matter how old you are, it's never too late to begin to make this investment in good relationships. I'm happy for the young people who are watching this episode, because you have the whole of your life in front of you to make this investment and to reap the benefits of this investment. Because the earlier in your life you begin to invest in good, valuable relationships, the better your life will be. I'll share 2 stories. I remember coming home from work one of those days in the dark seasons of my life. I had fasted that day because there were things I needed to pray about. But the pressure at work that day was so much that I couldn't even get 1 minute to pray. I got back home feeling really frustrated. As I sat in the living room, my phone rang, and it was my friend all the way from the United States. I hadn't spoken to her in several weeks, maybe even months. She said hi and mentioned her name and said she was in the kitchen cooking, but my thoughts had been so much on her mind that she decided to pick up her phone and call me. And then she began to pray for me. To my surprise, she was on the phone with me that day for almost 1 hour, praying those very matters for which reason I had fasted that day. But for reasons due to work pressure, I had not been able to pray. Talking about deep connections, I felt the warmth of God's love, and I felt the warmth of her love as she poured her soul out to me that day in that phone conversation. I still feel good just thinking about it and sharing that experience with you right now. Are there relationships in your life that you are taking for granted? Your relationship with your husband, your wife, your son or daughter, parents, brothers, sisters, friends. I have been guilty of that, and I'm sure many of you watching and listening are guilty of taking valuable, God-given relationships for granted. You know, and I know many stories of people who have gone in pursuit of careers, of education, of wealth, at the expense of these valuable relationships. You know about some of the results. The results are always predictable. Unhappiness. You don't want to go that route. Please don't. I'll share one more story. This was one day in 1997 or 1998 thereabouts. I walked into the hospital from the entrance, University of Benin Teaching Hospital in Nigeria, where I work. And I saw this teenager, a young boy, clearing grass in front of the hospital. I found it curious, quite concerning, that he was not in school. So I walked up to him to find out why he was clearing grass at that time of the day when he should have been in school. He explained to me, amongst other things, that his parents could not afford to pay his bills for continuing in school at that time. And for us, that was the beginning of a deep relationship. That young teenager is now a grown man, and he is one of the driving forces behind my weekly podcast. He nudged me, he encouraged me, prayed for me, and worked with me until I overcame my inhibitions, and here we are. He has become not just a son and a friend, but also a partner and, yes, a mentor. On his birthday 2 years ago, I was deeply moved, almost to tears, when he told me that I was the first person who ever gave him food served on a tray. Relationships are about deep connections, about love, true love. The Bible in John chapter 13, verse 34, 35 says, Jesus was speaking and he said, I give you a new commandment, that you love one another the same way that I have loved you. He said, by this men will know that you are my disciples, when you have love one to another. I like that King James rendition of that verse that says one to, not one for. When I have love to you, you can feel it, you know it. It's different than when I say I have love for you. It's in my mind, you may not even perceive it. That's what deep connections are about. As you look forward to living a good, healthy, and happy life into your hundreds, remember what I said at the beginning, that the root word for invest means to clothe yourself, to be covered. And I hope that you will work on being more intentional about nurturing the relationships with the people that God has placed around you. Nurturing deep connections that will give you joy and become your covering when money, fame, status, and all those other things that people run after fail. I hope that you have found this episode value adding. I honestly appreciate every feedback I've received, especially since the last episode. Thank you also for the private messages that you have sent to me. As usual, I'm inviting you to please subscribe and share this and other podcasts to your various networks. Also, please hit the notification bell so that you'll be among the first to get our updates when we post. You'll be able to get more content when you go to my website at aituaje.com, AITUAJA. You can also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple Music. Please leave a comment whenever you watch any of our videos, and I'll definitely respond. I look forward to connecting with you again.
Live happy and healthy, my brother. Live happy and healthy, my sister.